Hello and welcome back. I have another ink video review today, and I have another sample. So this one is by Sailor. It is called Manyo Haha, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I got this from Goulet Pens, and I have a link to their website down in my description if you want to get anything from them. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the swatch card for this. And this one, I don't know if it has sparkles or not. I don't think so. So hopefully I won't have to cap it and shake it in between each test. But usually the Sailor inks I have are very pretty. I don't think I've had one yet that I didn't like, so that's a good sign. And yeah, this one's a really pale blue. Look how pretty that is. And I'm starting to really like these pale or pastel inks, just because I find that they have a lot of shading usually. I haven't had any issues with them, and they're very unique. Yeah, it's really pretty. I want to try to get this to pool on one side a little bit so that we can see hopefully all that lovely shading if it has any. Okay, so far that's beautiful. This is a very pinky blue or bluey pink, depending on how you want to look at that. Like cotton candy is what it looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead and write the name on there. Oops. This is by Sailor. And their inks, I like all their inks that I've tried so far, so they're a pretty safe bet if you want something fun. I'm going to set this aside, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to test these out on 3 different kinds of paper. I have regular copy paper, I have HP 32 paper, and I have Tomoe River paper. The reason I do this is because sometimes you buy an ink and then you don't understand why it doesn't perform the way you thought it would. Maybe you saw a really cool picture and it doesn't look anything like the picture. And that was something I ran into when I first started buying fountain pen ink. I'm very new to fountain pens, and I'm new to the fountain pen inks and what all the properties are and how they work. And so this would have been extremely helpful for me when I was starting out, and that's why I want to do this, is just to help anybody else so that they don't buy a mountain of ink and then end up having it not look nothing like they thought it would. Not that any of it's bad, but I found out that most of the time it's because of the paper you're using. And I never would have thought that the paper would make a difference, so that's why I'm doing this. So if you were to purchase this ink and use it on copy paper, it would look like this beautiful pale blue color. Very, very pretty. It does have a little bit of, over here on the splotches, you can see a little bit of that pink coming through, but it's not super strong. All right, and then if I can stop bumping the camera, let me get some HP 32 paper. And HP 32 paper is just copy paper, but it's a little bit nicer. You can actually get it on Amazon pretty cheap. I have an affiliate link down below for it if you want to get it. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use my link, but it helps me out. So if you would like to, you can do that. Otherwise, you can get it anywhere. It's up to you. But I like it because it feels so much smoother than regular copy paper. So if I'm going to be writing a letter and I want to just use something like regular copy paper instead of some fancy paper, maybe I'm out of my nice paper or whatever, I'll use this, and the ink always looks really nice. So this is HP 32. And just in case there's some shading, sometimes I like to do these slow lines because I tend to write pretty fast and messy, and sometimes that makes it so the shading doesn't come through like it should. So let's just do that. And so far, so just like the copy paper, it's a very pretty pale blue, but you're seeing more of that color separation over here than you were before, and you're starting to see some of the shading come through, which is really, really nice. So the HP 32 with this ink would be very pretty. I think it would be totally fine. You would get some of the properties of the ink that show through, and I would be very happy with it. So let's see how the Tomoe River looks. And we'll just dip this in again. And this is even smoother than the HP32 paper. You can also get this on Amazon. And there's a lot of places, a lot of the pen, like the online pen stores and stuff will sell Tomo River notebooks and things. So if you want to journal and you want to use this fancy paper, you can get it that way. And I just call it fancy paper because it's not cheap copy paper. I'm sure to people who use it regular, it's not actually super fancy, but okay. And I'll draw my slow lines. But now you can see, as I'm drawing these lines, hopefully the camera is going to show this, but those ink splotches I made, they're already separating into different colors. And the shading on this paper and the color separation, and even just the writing, is totally different. It's much nicer. So let me put this cap on so I don't spill this. We'll set it aside. All right, look at that. So see, you can see the pinks and the blues are clearly separating and coming out, so you can see all the pretty colors. This would be so pretty to paint with. And like down here where I wrote the name, you can see all the colors, the blues and the pink come through, and the shading. Very, very pretty. So that's why I do these swatches, because without the swatches, I wouldn't know, okay, what's the best paper to pair with this ink. And so we'll show these all together. So that pale blue color looks really pretty on all three papers. So here's just the regular copy paper. There's a tiny bit of shading, and so you would still get that, but the color, the difference in the colors, it's very, very different with the nicer paper. You can see a little bit more color on this one. In person you can anyway, but then you go to the Tomo River paper and automatically the colors are just separating beautifully. It almost looks like a different ink from the other pages. So these two look like they could be the same ink, but this looks like a different ink from those two. That's how much of a difference your paper can make. So that's why I do these tests, and this is a beautiful ink. Everything from Sailor that I get, I like, so I haven't had any bad ones. So if you're thinking of getting an ink, anything from Sailor would be beautiful. And then here is the swatch that we made, and this really shows the color separation. You can see there's lots of pinks and blues. It looks like there's 2 shades of blue in there. And then either that's purple or it's just where the pink and the blue kind of overlaid on each other. So very pretty ink. This is definitely a nice one, and I love the ones that have shading and this color separation, everything. I just think it's so beautiful. So if you enjoyed this, please give the video a like and subscribe, and come back again and watch the next one soon. And if you have any suggestions or anything, please leave them in the comments down below. I love reading and responding to all your comments, so you have a great day.